I think it's time to start again. All right. Just doing a little bit of stream housekeeping. Don't mind me. Hmm, interesting. Okay, well, this is the second stream of the day. This is stream number 15. Earlier today was stream number 14. But I got myself some coffee, so I'm ready to go again. So last stream I had just finished writing the compiler for this format language that I've been using. So for example, we have this binary data. It is a GIF file, and we have this description of the format of that data in the language that our compiler is designed to compile. And then using it to parse data, we can recover information about the file. So it's kind of like traversing in order this data stream, traversing in order this data stream using this format to figure out what's in a file. So kind of work where I left this, if I combine that there and I just show all of this. This is what the original compiler would produce, sort of like a report of a compiled format file. So like one of these, right? So it should really kind of just spit back out this in a more standardized form, a more like a tree-like form. So the form in which it's going to use it at runtime to actually process data, right? That's what we're aiming for. And if I were to like show side by side, I don't know. How do I break this over to there? Can't I do that? Maybe put it down. I thought I could like open one side by side next to it. I guess I can't. Anyway, this is what we have so far. For the new one, it's in Rust. So the old one's in C, I'm porting it to Rust. So we're just not doing pretty printing of the nodes yet. You have the split. Is that one of these buttons? Oh, I don't know. Is it this one? Oh, there we go. Thank you. That was it. So put that one on that side and this one on this side. So you can see the one on the left is a lot easier to read than the one on the right. Uh, Scroll bar-ish. Does this one have its own scroll bar? That's interesting. So there's no scroll bar for the left panel? Huh. That's weird that there's one. Oh, no, now where did it go? Shoot, I don't even know where it went. It's gone. I've lost the scroll bar. No. Anyway, the old tool is a little bit easier to read its report than the new tool because we're not doing any of the nice formatting. So that's what I wanted to start working on today, and kind of like make it look like the old tool's output. So like, I think what I want to do is the line that we're on when we encounter a statement, that's what the pretty format of the statement should look like. So like a conditional should just say conditional, and then these subparts will let that be dealt with separately by the outer function that's iterating through. I think that's how I want to do it. That way all this level stuff is handled by the exterior thing, and then the display trait will just be printing what's to the right of the pluses. So that means for part, we want to do part all in caps, colon space, and then the format, the name, the arguments, and the bound if there is one. Looks like sometimes we don't have a bound. Yeah, like that doesn't have a bound. Yeah. Where's GIF there in the list? Okay, we are printing that plus for an ignore. Oh, also we're printing the interpretation map. Okay, but the goal is to like, if I were to like before and after, and then take the before, select for compare, and after compare selected. I want to get these very close together, and they're not right now, right? In fact, let's pin this window because we're going to use this. We're going to try to get the after looking pretty close to the before. So including, let's have it start the same way. I can't select text from here. That's a bummer. So that means I'll have to also pin the before text. Okay, so main should print that. I guess right here, right? Print line. So in here, we're going to put the path that was given. And then it's like you have to do 2-string lossy or something like that, right? Or can it just work there if I do that? Wait, what? Oh, because there's a quote there. Get rid of that quote there. Can I do a display of that? But okay, I can't, but can I do a debug display? Okay. And then when we're done, we're going to print that right here. Okay, so if I just do the after thing again, now the before and after should match the beginning, right? Okay, and then it doesn't match because for one thing, we're not sorting. So let's do a sorting. So there's no way to enumerate sorted, right? We can do iter enumerate. Actually, I don't need to do enumerate, but like when you iterate, you get these. But then if I want to sort these, how would I do that? I'd probably do something like this. Let pairs. I'm going to want to collect them and sort them, right? So that would be like formats. Actually, formats is a map, right? So all I really need is the keys. So formats.keys will do it, right? Dot collect into a vector. And then make that mutable because what we want to do is we want to do a names dot sort unstable. And then instead of for name, we'll do instead of for name format and formats iter, we'll do for name in names. And we'll say let format equal formats dot get name unwrap. Why is that a problem? Cannot move out of format arguments which is behind a shared reference. Oh, before we weren't borrowing. Yeah, well, we're gonna want to borrow here anyway. Okay, so let's do it after and then do the before after. Okay, so it's not putting a parentheses out after it. So let's do that. We're getting there. So put a parenthesis there. Actually, then I don't need to do this check at all. This can move out, right? And then that could be combined with the print line. So now we're good down to that part. So then after that, we're printing part lowercase, so we need to print it uppercase, right? Print statements. Yeah, so we're using the debug trait. Let's use the display trait. So we need to implement the display trait for statement. This standard, well, actually we can import that, right? For statement. Okay, and so we're borrowing self, so we can do a match self. And let this fill match arms. Okay, and then what do we print out for a part? We print some of these things, but not everything, right? Format and the name and the arguments in the bound. Format, args, we bound, args, format, interp. Yeah, we look ahead. We should use that. Do I use the L value? Like when I do a store into next, do I do that? In the before. I do. Okay, so that answers that. So I use all of these then. I think we always print the format first. No, we always print the word part, colon, and then, okay. So print, or write, to F, PRT, colon, and then the format. Then always a parentheses. And then we're eventually going to write the end parentheses. So let's just put that in now. Okay. If there's a bound, we do space, colon, space, and then the expression, right? Well, let's just write that for now. I don't want to leave these to do, right? Let's fill in like something for everything. So this is an ignore. Conditional is, this is where I'm going to really abbreviate it. So the conditional is if, right? Yeah, so let's just say if for now. And let's do the same thing for everything else, just so that we don't have any of these to-dos. So actually, I'm going to select all to-dos and do paste, enter. So that's for while bounds local. This is definitely what I don't want to do, but that's okay. Inc. For all I know, that's what I did for the C version anyway, and you know, brain constructed one thing 5 years ago, maybe constructs the same thing today. All right, let's see what that generates. Blocking while waiting means we get to drink coffee. Am I familiar with EAP 802.1x packets? I know what 802.1 is. That's Wi-Fi, but I'm not familiar with the packets. Do you have this? You have the split. What does you have the split mean? Oh, back when I was doing the two terminals, right? Yeah, exactly. for some reason I didn't remember that comment, and I look at it like, oh, there it is again, or there it is, and I don't remember seeing that before, but I should have remembered. Okay, we're getting close, so we actually have to put the name if it exists after here. Have you worked on large Rust parsecs? How are compile times like? I guess it's all relative. So I would say that I have worked on tiny, small, and a few medium-sized Rust projects, and the compile times are tolerable. But I do find myself taking more breaks than I might in other languages. Then again, like I've worked on large projects in other languages, and they also have large compile times. So it's not really just Rust. Yeah, so it's if name, if let some name equal name, we're gonna write that name here. Heard people complain this compiler is abnormally slow. I mean, you can see me run it, and it blocks waiting for a little bit, but that took 3.4 seconds. So I don't know if that's abnormally slow for this. It's plenty fast for me. Okay, so we got application. Okay, the part's not completely done because we didn't print the bound. So let's do that. I'm trying to get to where the Rust version and the C version print out exactly the same thing. So that would be after this, right? If let some bound equal bound. Oh, for this I'm going to need to be able to print out expressions though. Okay. What's the result for format? Is it just unit? Okay. Hey, Gerald Mega, how are you doing? Okay, here's where I need that bound, and that means we have to have the display trait implemented for expression, and we don't have that yet, right? It's going to tell me display expression doesn't implement display trait, and that's where I start to cry big crocodile tears because that is a heavy type. So let's go to expression here and implement it. All right. It's going to be a similar thing. It's going to be a match self with a lot of possibilities. So let's fill them all in with something minimal. So let's steal from statement, like just writing one thing, like one word. Okay, and then let's make that word be like some some expression. Just to have something to start with. Okay, for literal decimal, integer, string, how do we these are displayable, right? So we can do that. So D. These don't have to be the same, really. I'm just making them the same. How do I do strings here? Oh, actually, we put literals. There. Okay, let's see what I get now. How are you doing, the Gel Mega? See, 4.5 seconds is just long enough for me to take another sip of coffee. Okay, now we're getting where it's starting to compare. So conditional, so if should just say conditional, right? Why did I indent a line for the if part? Oh, because there's else. Yeah, so I wanted it to make like the if and the else are indented from conditional, because conditional is the outer, right? Doing well? I'm glad you're doing well. So if, where's if? There. Should just say conditional, right? And that's it. This is a drinking game. I'd probably get drunk pretty quick if I had to drink between each step. Okay, so then what's missing with conditional is we have to go a level down and do an if. So the code I have for maintaining the levels, where's that? That's outside a statement, right? So that means that probably in that main, it's probably what I did. Yeah, right here. So it's probably right here where I want to do the if part of the statement. So it would be like this. Actually, what I should do is I should put this into another function. What happens if I just refactor this into a function? Okay, then it took a little bit too much. So I have to take that out because that's what we want, right? And even though it's a fun thing, what I want to do here is give it a real name. So like line prefix. Okay, and then excuse me. Match statement, right? Actually, I don't want to pre-fill the arms. I want to have a default that does nothing. And I want to be specific here. Statement can if or conditional does something. So what does it do? It prints the if and expression, right? And it increments the level. So here. IEEE 802.1 is Wi-Fi, which is encapsulated in IEEE 802.11. Yeah, that's what I thought. When you analyze type of packet WA2 or 3, and then in order to process authentication, programmatically decrypt it with encryption key or extract frames? Is that a question? I don't know the answer to that. Okay, we want to do another line prefix here, right? And it's going to be level +1. And then we're going to do the print if, and then we're going to print the we need to loop through alternatives. So for alt in alternatives. And we have to remember if it's the first, right? So let mute first equal true. If first, print if. Actually, I can actually make this much shorter. If not first, print else. Then first equals false, and then print if colon. Because then it'll be if and then else if. And then it's I forget, do I put parentheses around every expression? I don't think I do, but I think I do actually. I think the parentheses are around every expression on purpose so that you don't, so that yeah, it's around every expression. So that means expression will take care of it. So all I need to do here is just say alt there. Alt, what is it? It's not alt. It's, what is alt? It's a conditional, which has a condition. So it is alt dot condition. Right. And then at the end, actually, this is a print line, isn't it? Okay, why am I getting a big fat warning? You seem to be trying to use match for destruction. No, ignore that. It's probably because I don't have another kind of alternative yet. Okay, getting closer. Oh, right. So we actually have to actually do something with the expression. I mean, I have to do it sometime. Why not do it? Why not do it now? So binary operation. Let's do that one first. Binary operation. We would write parentheses, left-hand side, um, space, op, space, right-hand side, end parentheses, right? And that won't build because op is not, it doesn't implement the display trait, so we have to go to operators, and we have to implement the display trait for all of these. Don't worry, I'll make it through it. What's the difference here? Alias? Huh. I don't know. But we did it. Binary operator. Match self. And the pain begins. They all have the similar format, right? It's going to be right to f comma some string. That's it, right? So, oh, wait, no. With the bang in front. There we go. So and is that? That's mask. That's and equals exclusive or divide greater than or equal to greater than in inclusive or see, now I'm not quite sure if I'm getting these symbols correct. Let's open token and see. Okay, inclusive is bitwise, or is logical. See, or is the logical one. Question, couldn't capture EAP packets for some reason, don't know why. Then decrypt it if it's encrypted and extract frames in order to include additional layer or security. I don't know what you're talking about, Audrey. Like I said before, I don't know anything about the WPA2 or WPA3 authentication or decryption. So I don't know much about Wi-Fi other than I know 802.1x is Wi-Fi. That's all I know. So I guess at this point you're not talking to me, you're talking to chat, which is fine. Maybe someone in chat knows. Multiply is star, modulo is percent, minus is minus, mask is and, less than's less than, left shift, less than or equal to, inclusive or, right, that's one pipe, in greater than equal to exclusive. Just one hat. equal, and and. I think I got them all. Seen you network packet video online, therefore ask in case you may know. Nope, I don't know. Sorry. Are you asking for advice on how to run a penetration test on a Wi-Fi network or how to secure a network against this? Well, they're asking that they want to include additional layer or security. Yeah, it's difficult to see what Audrey's wants. It almost sounds like, have you guys heard of the, what is it called? The XY problem? You guys heard of the XY problem? I guess this first site hit is more to the point, right? This is the XY problem. It's asking about your attempted solution rather than your actual problem. So I have a feeling Audrey's 33 has an actual problem and then has an initial idea about how to get to the solution, but rather than asking about the problem, they're asking about their own solution, right? That's why the first thing was, do you decrypt it with an encryption key or extract the frames, right? It's like, well, why? What's the problem that you're trying to solve? Where does that question lead? So Audrey's 33, maybe you can start with, what is your actual problem? Are you trying to solve something? Are you trying to learn something? Are you curious about why something was done a certain way? And what is it? Then maybe we would better be able to help you. All right. Okay, so we're getting there. I just need, I guess that's a reference expression, right? So that one's easy. Reference. Here. Don't we just want to print the identifier? No, this would be more difficult. So we want the reference type to be printable. See, archivification, you're just being too nice. What's blue team and what's red team? Accidentally sent it twice. Well, it looked like you just wrote slightly separate things. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You didn't send the same thing twice. You wrote it slightly differently both times. Team, have a look at how to enable a Mac. Oh, I see. There's a sentence in the middle that you subtracted the second time. But then you changed some of the wording. You turned few into couple. If blue team, and then you turned have a look to go have a look at how to enable a MAC filter on the router, and then you added to start with, and you're trying to change the message before sending, but hit enter by mistake. Oh, is that what happened? Okay, I was trying to figure out, like, did you, like, run this through ChatGPT and asked it twice and it gave you slightly different answers and then you pasted both answers? Because, yeah, that's fine, but it was just weird. Okay, for reference type, we need to implement, this is inevitably, we're going to implement the display trait on everything, right? So yeah, this will be implement. This .gpt would use red team and blue team. It might, if those are the terms that are used in all of its training material that has to do with 802.11 encryption. It might. Not saying ChatGPT is bad. It's actually kind of cool for doing searching. And I think it's perfectly legit to answer a question by looking it up and pasting the answer. Because you're not claiming anything about the origin of the information, right? So it's fine. Okay, so this one's not too bad. It's just a vector, right? So we want to do a Basically put dots between everything, right? See, this is again, I'm missing more and more. I'm missing the fact that we don't have a join function in Rust. So I have to do this wacky thing where I do let mute first equal true. And then I say, actually, I guess I can do this with the fold. So self dot zero dot fold, well, iter into iter. Doesn't matter because it's a reference type, right? Fold true. So this will be first and R. Actually, what happens if we return an error out of here? I can't remember, so maybe I don't go about it this way. I'll just code it up the way I'm used to, and then I'll maybe fix it. Adjective Ellison, hello again. You're a streamer? What were you doing? Thank you for the raid. If not first, print dot. Actually, we're not printing, are we? We're writing to the formatter, and we're asking it nicely, and if it can't do it, we're returning early with an error. Then first equals false, and I just realized all of this needs to be inside of a for r in self.0. And then we're doing a write f, and we're doing a r. Okay, we're done. But the part has to implement this display. Rustlings. Just started Rust semi recently. Oh, cool. Planning on starting a project this week as I'm far enough into the book to be doing more practical stuff now, maybe Bevy or Diaxis or Adventico stuff. Do you know how to do a join in Rust? Because there is no join, right? And so I'm having to do this a crude way, and this should say like iter. But it's like if I wanted to have a dot separated list, I don't know how to do that because I can't say what I want to say here is like self.0.iter.map r to I guess that's the formatter, right? So write format r. How come I can't type tonight or today? And then I want to like join with a dot and write that out. So it would be ultimately be a write to the formatter that. That's what I want to say, but I have to say it this way instead because there is no join. That should have worked. There's no join, right? Self is a reference, and self.0 is this vector of reference parts. So we're iterating a vector. So we're mapping every element of the vector. So we're mapping every reference part to how it's formatted, which is we're about to do that down here, right? So this ends up being strings. This is an iterator of strings. So I want to join an iterator of strings. In fact, if I do this, you'll see the type, right? I say let x equal that, and I do the inlay hints. It's an implementation of an iterator where every item is a string. What I want to do is I want a function that takes an iterator of strings and joins them with dots in the middle. The error is that there is no such function. There is no method named join for, well, this is the actual iterator implementation, right? I think that there ought to be, at least for things that you can get string slices out of, there ought to be a function that can join an iterator of them together with dots and give you a new string out. Now, I could go and write that, and maybe I should, but wouldn't that be something you'd want to have built into Rust? Well, I shouldn't need to collect them. I should be able to build a string out of it. So I can do this by making a function called join that just calls next on the iterator and like puts it to the end of a string. But it feels like something that should be built into Rust, you know? Reduce isn't quite it, though, is it? Oh, that's right. Didn't we have a trick where we use zip and like the trick is to not put a dot in the front or in the end, right? So you want to zip it with dots, but you don't want to, you want to like drop the first or the last one, right? Was that it? You're not smart enough to do it? Well, neither am I. I'm just asking. Maybe you happen to know. See, those in chat like Archivication just can get that right away. That was GTP output. Ah, that's why. See, what did they do? They did into iter collect. Wait, but that, again, that's assuming that that's collecting it into a vector first. We don't want to do that. I think zip was the magic, right? Hey, let's just write it. Since this would be a useful thing to have, right? So a function called join. It's generic on some type T, which is like anything that I can turn like into, or is it as ref string? Is that how you'd write it? List, I guess, where, or thing is I have to use another trait here. So do I need another, we'll just take this out. IT into a string where, and IT is a iterator item equals T. That might be too constraining though, right? So it's like this code is what I want, right? So take that off, and then we're gonna have let mute. So I don't need first anymore because we're gonna have like the result equals string new, right? Watch, I'll write all this and I'll look at chat and someone's already done it for me. Okay, so we would say for like, I don't know, it doesn't need to be called R. It could be called item. And it's not self-zero iter, it's list. And then it would be not result first, it would be if not result is empty. And then write becomes just result dot, was it append? Oh no, you could write into a string, right? That's one of the things you can do with the string, I thought. I might be wrong about that. And then we get the result out. We don't have to say that anymore. And then this is item. I guess we have to say that T also supports, well, no. If it's a string, then we just write the item as ref. Actually, then it's whatever the writer can take, right? Actually, then I can just say that this is something that can be into, or something that supports the display trait, right? So then it's item. Having trouble with my escape keys, my shift keys today. Okay, that compiled, and I'm really surprised that it did. I thought I would get that wrong. I know you could do something like let things format. See, like this is, I guess I also want like the separator character, right? Actually, this can be any kind of slice. Oh, let's leave it as a character. Oh, you can't write into a string? Cannot write into standard string. I thought you could. Oh, it is, but you could use standard format right. Use standard format right. Okay, but it didn't like the separator. Also, let's just unwrap these. I don't want to have to deal with writers failing on me. Okay, separator, we're gonna make you a slice. Why can't I do that? Or it must be a string literal. Right, so then it's not right, is it? Wouldn't it just be, can you just add to a string? Can you do that? There we go, that worked. What's chat trying to say about my weak attempt to do this? You're forcing items to be string. No, I'm not. They're just display trait. I used to, but then I fixed it. If you use nightly, you could do intersperse. Is that what I'm looking for? That's probably what I'm looking for. Yep, there's the separator. This is a method of iterator. It's exactly what we want, right? So that's nightly. Okay, I look forward to that being in stable. Seems that fold may will do what I want. Yeah, but fold. I guess you're right. I didn't have to do I didn't have to do that. I could have used, well, no, I still need to do this, right? Isn't this technically a fold? Oh, I see how you're folding it. Oh yeah, okay, adjective Allison's got a good solution too. You have to remember to return the accumulator at the end, by the way. Oh, wait, you are. But then you're tossing away the initial string new, is what you're doing. Couldn't you? I see what yeah, okay, you could just, yeah, well, that's making a string just to sacrifice it immediately, right? I guess if the iteration's empty, then you'll end up with an empty list. Okay. Yeah, we want to avoid allocation. There's only one allocation in there, right? This doesn't allocate and that doesn't allocate all the time, right? Doesn't it only do it okay. True. If we wanted to minimize the allocations, we'd have to know the total string size, so we'd have to iterate at least through once just to know how big the items are. Then allocate the string and then write it. Or we can hope that when that this allocates a little bit more memory than we actually need and doubles the amount of memory every time. And so does this. I don't know if this is good, but yeah. Now I should be able to say join, but why can't I? Because it's not found on that iterator. Oh, because I made it a free function. So it would be this join with a dot, and I made it a character for some reason. I'm missing parentheses. Oh, the map ends there. That's why. Yeah. Okay. No, it's still wrong. Why? My separator needs to be. Oh, it's not a character. There we go. And we don't need this. See, that's what I wanted. Why isn't this built into the language somewhere? I guess it is, but it is coming in the nightly build, and it's not tied to the display trait or string. There's a generic version. So I could make this even more generic, right? It would be if it supports the write trait, and I guess I could turn that around to do a write also. How does the write trait actually work? Write str. Oh, there we go. So I could do result write str and separator. And I don't need this unwrap. Then this result can be anything that supports the write trait. So also something that has a default. That the best way to do is to do default, right? Then I can make this be R or W, where it's some W that supports the write trait. Like that, right? Now it's even more generic. Maybe not. What's this? Annotations needed. So that's like W as default, right? Yeah. Oh, nope. It's not satisfied. Default's not implemented for W. How about write plus default? Did I not need the turbofish? Did need the turbofish. But okay, then we can get away with this by having that flag that we had before. So we can say if not first. Then we don't need to be able to like ask it if it's empty or not. Type annotations needed. Look at all those things that it could be. So maybe this is too generic. Can I default it? Can I say that equals string? I thought, oh, so you can't provide default things for traits? But I could say join like string if I wanted to, right? Okay, catch up with chat. The game I'm on at the moment, we had a mail where we were allocating too much stuff per frame. One of the reasons I'm not a fan of randomly allocating without real purpose. Yep. I like to do things in the order of make it work, then make it right, and then make it fast. And the things being slow because of too much allocation, I say that we fix that in step 3. But you know, I probably create more work for myself by not picking something intuitive at the beginning. It's more good practice to not allocate too much. Yeah, I mean, trying not to allocate anything, right? I think write string is going to allocate, and so is the write. Actually, this we can be more efficient with this, right? If I directly use the display trait has a FMT, and that does not, it formats the values in the given formatter. Actually, I guess then we do have, that's technically the formatter is the write, right? I was just wondering if there's if the only thing you're writing is a display trait implementing object, is there a more concise way to do that? And maybe there isn't. Or would it be like result write string and then a format with that? Like, which would this be better? Result dot write. Oh, there's a write format? What does that do? Glue for the usage of write macro implementers should not generally be invoked manually. Okay, we won't do it then. Yeah, would this be better to do the format? And then this? That does an allocation, doesn't it? So maybe the write prevents the allocation? I don't know. Okay, see ya, Adjective Allison. Thanks for the raid. I don't know. I for some reason I felt like I wanted to pursue this to see how generic I could make it. Um, this is not even the best way we would use it, right? If we're already doing write, wouldn't it be better to just pass the formatter along to something else? And we would just write to it iteratively. And the fact that I made this overly generic, that it can do anything to a write. Yeah, it would be better just make an iterator into this, right? It should give me a bunch of strings out. That's the, wait, no. I guess it would be strings, right? I don't know. Let me back this out because I actually just want a string all the time. And then I can make this look a little bit easier. I can just say this is string new. And then I don't need this first anymore because I know it's a string. I can say if not result dot is empty. And I don't need that. And it's just a little easy. It's a little better. And then I don't need the turbo fish. And then it fits on one line again. If I'm going to be doing this a lot, maybe I'd do like another version of this which interacts with the formatter. And then I wouldn't need to do the allocation at all. I would just write it directly. That's probably even better, right? Hold on. I'm interested in doing this. So if I say like format join or something, and we give it a formatter, write about here. Then we don't need a result. We would go back to this being a flag. And then this becomes if not. First equals true. And then we can turn this around. We don't need a result anymore. We do f dot write string, right? No. We would use the write macro. No. We would do f dot write string because here we can just put the separator. Right? And we can actually not unwrap it. We can do a question mark and make this result same as the write string. What kind of error is that? It's a formatting error. So this would be standard format error, right? Yeah, and then we can do yeah, exactly. We can just do that. And then now we're not doing allocations, right? F. There we go. So then I can do format join down here. We should probably put F first, actually, right? That's traditional, right? So then it would be F, and then wouldn't it just be this then? That's even better. Look at that. Format join. Format join is probably not the best one because we're really doing write. So it should be like write joined. There we go. Write joined. According to this impl, you should be able to join everything that implements borrow str. Hey, Lady Silent Z, how are you doing? See, whenever I start to work with esoteric Rust, that's where we get the real Rust experts come out of the woodwork. So that's how I summon Silent Z, not by saying Silent Z 3 times, but by trying to do something esoteric in Rust. Then Silent Z is summoned. Am I wrong? See, but this is also an experimental API, unless we're looking at the wrong thing here. This thing? Oh, we're looking at this. That there is an implementation of join for S's, which you can borrow an OS string. What? That's for like OS string, which is different from string, right? But yeah, this whole thing is experimental, it looks like. I think I like the way I've done this. So right joined, we start with a formatter, so we're not allocating memory anymore. The list is something that iterates over a T, and it's just anything that we can display. Anything iterating over something that can be displayed. And we have a slice, which we leverage write str for. Then all we're doing is we're writing that extra separator every time. We're just calling write iteratively on the item. I think that's the best way to do it. Then I don't really need this join anymore. Because we could write joined into a string and get the same thing out, right? The string version is highlighted above the OS. Oh, was it? Okay. Did I miss that? History. Here we go. This one? I thought you said that it was be able to join anything that implements borrow. So my eyes went down to where it said borrow here. But you meant this one here? Oh, there it is. It's the where clause. Did that not show up until I clicked it? No, it was there. I just was blind. Sure, this joins, but it doesn't put the dots in the middle, right? I still have to do the, what we're talking about, the intersperse, or the way I did it. So yeah, there's a generic join, but if I want to join with a separator, that's intersperse, right? And then intersperse and then iterate or collect. Okay, I think I'm just going to go with this, and it doesn't really belong here. So let's put it somewhere where we can revere it. Let's put it in a top level crate called like good stuff. Or we just put it in main. Where am I? Parser. Would it go in the lib here then? Okay. Let's move on. So reference part. Really feel it would be a nightmare to write your engine if you didn't use unstable stuff, especially because you got your own allocator system. Well, you're working on like low-level hardware stuff, right? I think you're allowed, by default, you're allowed to use the unstable stuff. Okay, reference part. So I think we're just writing the string right away. Write f self.id followed by actually no, we're just writing it, right? Yeah, and then at the end we're doing this, but in the middle it's going to be for index in self.indices, right? F bracket index. There we go. I did it, chat. Nope, we have an error. I didn't do it. We have to borrow. Try again. 5 seconds? Long enough to drink some of those beans. Okay. Hey, look at that. We're printing the conditional. Now we just need to print the error clause. So that's like the statements inside of the conditional. We do 2 levels up. Don't need that. We're on statement, I think. No, we were at the top level is where we were. Main. Yeah, here. Yes. We printed the condition. Then we have to like print the statements below that. So it would be for statement in alt statements. Then it's line prefix. Well, it's just print statements actually. We don't need to do that. It's print statements level +2, right? Alt statements borrowed. Done. Easy. The power of recursion. So we don't have, so the level is correct. We're not printing the string that goes with the error. So let's do that. That's expression, right? No, it's statement. Error. E. Easy. I like it when it's easy. Oh. What happened to my comparison? Did I close it? No. Okay. Compare. Select for compare. Compare with selected. Okay. Don't close that, Raimu. Oh, I see. We didn't do the else, and we didn't. We don't have a printer for nil, or we don't have a printer for return, really. So don't close that. We will do the return first. So that's a kind of statement. So that's E again, right? Actually, while I'm here, shouldn't I just fill these in too? Since we have a printer for references now. And while I'm here, why don't I just do this? Yeah, why not? Okay, run it again. Ooh, wow, that got a lot further. We're still not doing the else though. Oh, and nil is not being printed. So we need nil and we need the else's. Nil, nil, nil. That's an expression, right? Nil. That's what it actually shows up as, right? Yes, lowercase nil. Easy. Okay, and then the else's. So that's at the top, right? Right, so after we do alternatives, we say if otherwise is not empty. Then we're going to do a print line. With the line prefix of an else. And then we print statements. And that is otherwise. I'll get rid of the yellow line in a minute. Hold on, we have a playground to look at. This is very important. We have to wait for the compiler anyway. One more tab to look at a playground. Function test, let wrappers is vector, my wrapper. What are we looking at? Join things that wrap a string unstable. Wrappers.join. Test is okay. Yeah, but it has to be Well, there was a constraint that I couldn't use join for this, right? What's the constraint? Is it because it's nightly? This I would get a warning if I tried to do this saying it's experimental or something, right? Because of this, I'm guessing. It's a different join. How many things are there that are called join? The answer is quite a lot. That one's experimental. Is it slice? Slice is not experimental. Yes, that's what we're looking at, right? But it's that the output type. Join has an output type. So we got to look at, that's a trait. And we got to look at the implementations. Implementers. Yeah, that's where we just were, right? And that, does it tell me what the output is? I guess if I click that, no. Ah, where did it go? Go forward. I can't get back to where it was. That just goes to the top. Can I see what the output type is? Output is string. Right, so that does an allocation, which makes sense. Okay, so you're saying if they were slices, what's my wrapper? Oh no, it's a string. So if you can borrow it as a slice, then join works on it, and it gives you a string output. Got it. So I was having trouble with join because I was expecting it to be implemented for iterator. Okay, I see the problem. I was looking for a join on iterator, and this join is on slice. So I have to have, basically I have to have it already collected first, then I can join them. But I wanted one where it works with an iterator so that I don't have to join them first. But since I'm already going to be, where is it? I'm already going to be just using this for formatters. I can just take the formatter and like not even allocate anything. It just iteratively writes using the formatter. So yeah, so basically I wanted something that worked with an iterator, not a slice. I also kind of hate that standard has this special thing where it can use unstable things and unstable implementations. I kind of hate that because we should also be able to do it. Wait a minute. It can use unstable things in unstable implementations. Do you mean like unstable things in stable implementations? I think that's what you meant. Okay, so we're missing a colon? Or am I adding a colon? Yeah, I'm adding a colon. See, the original didn't print a colon. That's interesting. Why did I... Oh, probably because there's nothing after it. All right, well, I can fix that. So there's no else there. And what was the other problem? It was like printing out to 6 decimal places. So we can do that too. We can play the decimal game. That's a special, it's not an expression. Is it? It's in, no, it's here. That's a special thing like .6, right? I can't remember exactly, but I think that's it. Hey, we did it. I did it. First try. All right, so loop 4 should be loop, and we print the loop condition. Okay, so this is some special ass syntax. So That's going to go in statement, right? So in the statement, it's loop and then the loop condition. So loop and then the loop condition. And then in the main, we have to catch that. So that's statement for loop. Okay, so we're printing stuff. We're printing loop init, we're printing loop next. Print line loop init. Wish I could hold more in my short-term memory. Loop init, and then it's variable space equals space, then the expression. So it's variable loop var space equals space loop init. And then another line prefix and a loop next. Enter. Why did I put it on the next line? Oh, because it's a statement. That's why. It's a statement. Did I put a colon there? Short-term memory does not help. I did not. It's then one more level and we print this statement. So it's print state. Well, it really, I want a singular print statement. Level +2. Loop next. We don't have a print statement though, but I can make one. We can just refactor. Let's do that. Print statement. Refactor function. There we go. I did it, chat. The print statements is just a loop to print all of them. Cool. Does that work? Oh no, we're not done. Not done, not done. After loop next, I have loop and then the loop's contexts. Loop and then print statements. All right. Yeah, unstable things in stable implementation. Yeah, it's cheating, isn't it? I saw that you were implementing display for your thing, had a vec inside. It's stored as a vector. These things that we're printing have vectors in them because they own these expressions. But when I'm displaying that, I'd rather not allocate like more memory. I'd rather just kind of iterate through if I can. I think if I understand what you're saying. Same with not being able to exactly replicate box because it's special. Well, box is weird in that it has to be able to put stuff on the heap, right? Is vector, am I understanding correctly, vector is implemented in terms of box. It's like a box putting an array. How come I can't type right now? It's this shift key and then this character, expression. That's what a vector of expressions is. It's a boxed array of whatever it is, right? But at everything is defined in terms of other things until you get down to where the language really doesn't capture the exact thing you want, which is to put it on the heap, because there's no fundamental like elemental thing in Rust to say I want this on the heap versus the stack, right? There's no way to do that. Well, I guess there is with the allocator. but maybe it's just simpler that they do it internally. It's special. There's one specific feature the box has, the ability to partially move stuff out of it. Really? I thought that was only something you can do with self. You can partially move out of self. I didn't know you could partially move out of box. There are efforts in the background to not make it special. How do you partially move out of a box? By the way, great YouTube video idea for Rust teaching would be to make a video about what does partial move mean in Rust, and then we would cover both self and box, and that would require I learn about it first, enough that I could teach it. MIR? Mid-level IR. So is there something about partial move then? And does it talk about self and box? Oh, well, so it looks like destructuring does a partial move. So if you do something like that, you're partially moving out of person. So you can still use person age because, no, you can't because it was moved out. But is it saying that I can use other things from person? Well, it actually moved all of it. Where's the partial move example? This is the complete move out. Parts of the variable will be moved while other parts stay. In this case, the parent variable cannot be moved after as a whole. However, the parts that are only referenced and not moved can still be used, but they don't even show an example of that, right? Because person, they moved both of these things out. Oh wait, is ref one of those special things where we're borrowing it? We're not actually moving it out? I think that's right, right? Person cannot be used, but person age can be used, right? Because we didn't move age out, but we partially moved person out. We can't do that. And we moved name completely out. There we go. So there's three things you can partially move. You can partial move with self, you can partial move with box, and you can partial move with the destructuring. That's about box being special. Let me look at that later. To do on my notebook, look at later, paste, and I'm going to say this came from the Gel Mega. Thank you, Gel Mega. So box T is handled especially in the intermediate language. Okay. I'm still interested in what you meant by the ability to partial move out of self. I mean, out of box. Okay, where was I when I got distracted? I think I was doing a loop and I didn't test it, right? So now we're going to test it. Okay, we're a little bit off here, right? That should say loop next, not loop. And we didn't do the prefix, the level prefix for loop part. So that's loop. Wait. No, loop next is correct. But the increment is wrong, and I forgot to do the level prefix for loop. So the increment's wrong. It's spelled out. It looks like increment. So that means I'm guessing it's the same thing for decrement. This is about box being special, and for an older version of Rust, but should be valid. Copy that link. So there's two things for me to read. Thank you for my homework assignment, Gelmega. I have to catch up on my homework. Winter Coding wanted me to look at Avalon IAUI.net. BinUtils wanted me to watch a YouTube video. Now I got two things from the Gelmega. There was a book by Jim Blandy that I didn't look at called Programming Rust. There's a way to register my Twitch bot that I never looked into. There's someone's videos that I didn't just subscribe to. There's a bunch of stuff I forgot to do. Anyway, we're getting pretty far in our display trait. Okay, so ignore isn't printing the plus or the look ahead. Okay, plus. Actually, that's not a look ahead. That's a copy, the copy thing, whatever that's called. And part needs to do it too. So the look ahead goes right before. No, it's right after the format, right? Actually, don't have a good example of it. Maybe I just look at the source code in the actual C code. That was where in parse format, main. It's a massive switch statement is what it is. Here we go. So it's right after the subformat and yeah, right after the part. Yeah, this is the original C code version of it. Yeah, and I had, instead of there being a display trait, I basically had a function called like how to render a expression list, and there's another function called render expression, and then here we have that big switch statement with what I wrote a little bit ago, right? Well, I haven't done the unary operators. And we don't have to do that in Rust because we can just exhaustively match. Anyway, okay. So it was the statement part, it was after the format, right? If look ahead, right, F plus. And same thing for ignore. There's a lot of things that are the same between this and ignore. Shoot, I need to actually break this up. What's wrong with this? Huh. I find it interesting that I have to physically dereference this reference to a bool there. Shouldn't it be able to like auto dereference a bool? Borrowed bool? Why do I have to do that in front? Come on, Rust experts, explain that to me. Just kidding. Avalon UI had a colleague who worked at that a colleague that had to work with it and seems to have some strange quirks. Yeah, I don't remember why it was that Winter Coding wanted me to look at it. I probably should have written down why I was asked to look at it. Also want to hear something fun. So you've got Avalonia UI, where they took the dev name for what it's based on and added IA to it. Yeah, I think how it came up was I have a WPF implementation of the GUI for the C version of this tool, and it uses Avalon UI to draw it. So if I go into WPF GUI and I look at view and I look at I think it's script console window. Maybe not. I don't see it there. The text editor? No, it's one of these XAML files. Configuration window, maybe? I'm not seeing it. There it is. I have an Avalon edit text editor here. So it's Avalon edit. Um, what was cool about it is you can attach, you can bind to it something that you can then do the syntax highlighting for it. I forgot how that works though. It doesn't look like I set it up in the XAML. Maybe I set it up in the code behind here somewhere. Here it is. So with IC Sharp code Avalon edit, there's a highlighting loader, and then you can load basically an XML like document that describes like how to like what the reserved words are and what how to color things, and the editor would just figure it out. And then I had one for my I think this is for my format stuff, and then I had another one for Lua. Yeah, and I probably got this from somewhere else. I didn't write down where I got it from. Yeah, syntax definitions. You can write syntax definitions for the thing. And this was back in like 2008. It was like old school stuff. Anyway, we did the look ahead, and I wanted to do the L value. Okay, where was that here? That's the arguments, right? Right after the arguments, before the bound. Right here is the L value. If let some L value equal L value, then we're going to write it out with an arrow. Arrow! Same way, right? And then interp, I need to have rendering the map. So I don't know if I have that or not, but we have an L value for ignore also. I added that recently. That would go here, and I'm missing the args too. Wait, why am I not doing the args here? What is args? It's a vector of expressions. Oh, shoot. We have to have like a one of those join things, right? Yeah. So write the first one, write the last one, and in the middle, we want to do right joined, the thing I made, right? So right joined, the list is args. Actually, there's one more addition I want to make to that. I want to make it so that you can do it into iter, so I can do an args directly there. Actually, I can't remember. Is it just a single space or a single comma, or is it a comma with a space? I don't have any examples of that. I guess I can just look at the code. So the code's here, and then we have render expression list, and it's a space after the comma. Look at that. Space. Yeah, see this, it won't like this because that's not an iterator, right? But I can make my trait even more cool by going there and saying that this will work with anything that supports into iterator. And then I just have to do into, right? Then it works again. It's like I know Kung Fu. Almost. If let Why is it not like my if? I don't know. What's this problem? Expected, what is it? It sees an extra character here somewhere. Why do I not see it? Because there's no okay? I think that was it. Yep. Okay. Sadly, that was the last sip of coffee. Okay, we're getting all the way down to, so, okay, we're not doing maps. I'm not doing while loops. Oh, I forgot the bound on ignores. That we can fix that real quick. It's just like the parts. So the last thing after, yeah, right here. Cool. Oh, there's no dot. The delimiter is not being printed correctly for the references. And the bounds didn't get printed. Oh, we didn't do bounds at all. So yeah, the reference didn't get printed correctly. I'm shocked. Should be a dot between them. Unless maybe I'm looking at that wrong. Yeah, we're not printing a dot there. Why not? Everywhere else we're printing, no, here's another place we're not printing the dot. Did I break it then? Did I break my join thing? I probably broke it. I would need to like what if I add another argument to one of these so that we can test the join thing? So go to the format and just add like an extra argument like XYZ and then run it again. It didn't put a space after it. That's odd. It put the comma, but it didn't put the space after the comma. It should have put a space there. What if I like put it like AB? Because I'm not sure where the space went. Is it just arbitrarily like printing one less character than it should? Wait, it just printed a comma? Really confused now. Gotta admit it, confused. Apple, banana. I don't know what to put here. How about something? Yeah, there's still a I'm probably looking at the wrong spot. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong spot. It's on part. Shoot. So let's put that back to space. It's in function call and expression where I need to do this, right? Expression. No, it's in expression. No, it's in. No, hold on. Wait. It's format. It's at the top level. It's way up here. It's just junk. But you're right. Okay, so let's fix this. This shouldn't have this first junk, right? This should be I can't use it with a print, can I? It was only with a form. I have to have a formatter. Well, I guess I can do a print f. Um, print line. Print line. Did I save? Yeah, I was just looking at the wrong thing. Hey there, liquid egg product. I don't have a version of this with print. Maybe I let's make a to do refactor to use format join. Duh. So for now, we're just going to put the space there like it should be because that's what the C code has, I think. Let's verify. Um, it'd be here somewhere, right? It's print formats main. Yeah, there's a space. Okay. But that wasn't the real problem. It's I put the that test code in the wrong spot. It was here, right? For a part. And I got confused between a part and a format. So this is a format, not a part. Actually, let's leave that in there and test it, make sure that that's fixed now. There should be a, for color table, yeah, this comma space something. All right, so going back. Yeah, here we can take that out. That was just for testing. So the other place was when we actually pass arguments. So I guess it would be where we call color table. Here we go. So let's do comma space boo. And how does that print out? It doesn't print it out at all. Okay, why not? Color table. There's where it is, right? Wait. Table-based image, right? In table-based image. Oh, it's inside of a bound, so we're not going to see it. Okay, let's do bounds. Bounds does just the expression of the bound. So bound, where are you? Here you are. So it's just the bound here. And then at the main level, I have to actually print the statements for the bound. So that's in this main? Yeah, right here. So we have to add statement bound. Okay, so then it's line prefix level +1, and it's what's the thing I put in it? Oh, I don't call anything. I don't print anything. Instead, I just do print statements. Level +2. Actually, it would be level +1, wouldn't it? And it takes the place of the line prefix. Level +1 statements. Okay, try that. Yeah, the separator isn't being printed by my nifty new join thing. So why is that? Do I have a logic error in that thing? I must, right? I must have a logic error here. Oh, false. That would do it. If it's always true, it'll never print the separator. Okay, I feel dumb. That's something that like is ripe for someone in chat to say, "Hey, you didn't set that to false." So now it's correct. Hold on a second. No. Okay. Okay. Bye. Mrs. Reimer would like everyone to know that she's on the way home. Okay, so I can fix what I broke here. That. Should be getting closer to this matching. Okay, looks like we printed 2 extra new lines in the new output. The old output just ended there, and what's the new output look like? We have a kitty. Periodically, the cat will walk over to me and meow, and then if I can grab her in time, I'll pick her up and she'll purr for you. I'm looking for after. Yeah, why are we printing 2 extra new lines down here? Oh, because the format has an extra one. Right? And there's probably an extra one at the very end. Yep, there's an extra one there, an extra one there. So let's get rid of these extra print lines. We don't need this one. So this is like, should go before the first one, right? So what if we move that one to the top and get rid of this print line there? That should fix that difference. Yeah, my goal right now is to have the C-based tool and the Rust-based tool produce the same output. And we're looking good, except for this middle part, and that's because I'm missing while loops, which just say loop, and I'm missing maps, right? So let's do the map first, I guess. It looks like that's always sorting it. I guess that's what we want. Actually, I wonder if we get that by default from Rust. Wouldn't that be cool? So that's in the return. No, that's an expression, right? A map. Here we go. Is that right? Is it printing out an EXPR? Yes. So can I just like write the map out? No. A vector of key values doesn't implement display. Oh, it's a vector. What if we formed a hash map from it? We can't. How did the the C code do it? Let's see. So it's all in this expression stuff, right? Render expression. So render expression, and let's look for a map. Oh, I didn't do the unary operators either. Render map. It just does a render expression, colon render expression, and it does it in order. So I don't need to sort it. It's just in order. Right? Okay, easy. We just need to port that to Rust. So that should just be do this. Actually, we are just going to we're going to implement the hold on. No, we're not. That's of type vector of key value. I can do it this way. I can write the display trait for key value. And we can do this. We can do a right joined. Right joined to F. The list is map, right? And the separator is comma space. Right, so now we just have to implement display for key value. Key value.rs, here we are. That's the wrong one. This is the test for key value. Why did I put an underscore? Oh, because I wanted to capitalize that one. All right, fair enough. Impl display for key value. All right, and then this is just a write, I think, to F of something colon space something else. And those somethings are self.key and self.value, which are displayable. Cool. Let's see what we get. All right, so the maps are printing out. So, okay, I didn't print the interp. I didn't print the interp, and we didn't print, I guess I'm saving while loops for last. I don't know why. So the interp is on parts, right? So that would be statement part. Yeah, right out here, right? If let sum interp equal interp. We're just writing it out, I think. Vector key values doesn't implement display. Oh, yeah, same problem, right? I gotta split this into this, and then do right joined. And that's interp. Separator, comma space. Almost done. Okay. Oh, I put an extra space in there somehow. And then for loops. And then at least for this format, I'm done. I probably don't want to end there. I want to like get the pieces that I've missed. Okay, there's the extra space. So for loops. That was okay, we were printing loop. What were we supposed to print? Oh no, I closed it. No. Okay. Select for compare. Compare was selected. I said compare was selected. There we go. Oh, that's after with after. Try that again. Before, select for compare. After, compare was selected. Oh, we were printing while. We need to print loop. Printing while, we need to print loop. Okay, so it's the same as a for loop then. And we must not just be handling the outer statements here. Yeah, okay, so it's just same as the for loop, right? Statement while. Kind of like this, right? So we have no loop in it, and we have no loop next. But we do have loop and we have statements. We're not printing the condition. See if I got it. First try. Did I close it again? Why do I keep... No, I didn't close it again. Whew. What's different here? We incremented the level when we shouldn't have. The level got incremented somehow. Also, we didn't print out the condition for the loop in statement. I thought I did, though. Wait. Did this not get saved? I don't get it. It's not printing out the 1 for the while 1. Oh, could that be a grammar problem? And why are we indented 1 level too much? That would be in main, right? Oh, is it that? So it should be like... Oh, are we printing 1 extra? Is that what it is? That's what it is. That we already printed that. We don't want to print that, and we don't want to indent more. So this goes, and this just is level plus 1. There we go. Okay, very close. Now I have a colon after break that we don't want in there's under statement. Break there. And then I think we'll be bit exact with the C code. And so then I kind of want to track down all those warnings and see what did we forget to implement. Yep, we're bit exact. We produced exactly the same output that the C code does. Exactly to the letter. All right, in fact, if we did a diff before, after, and say there's no difference. Okay, so then what are the things that I missed that I should do? Error, break, return, decrement, increment. Oh, we should verify that that's how we do accumulation and assignment. I guess I'll just compare with the C code. Statement, ignore, part, conditional loop. Bounds look, okay, it's assignment, something equals something, accumulation, something plus equals something. Assignment, left-hand side equals right-hand side. And this is accumulation, right? And it's this, but with a plus in it. There. Okay. Yeah, we don't use the statements there or there. Actually, isn't it the trick is to do a dot dot, right? Just a dot dot. I can't remember if it's 2 dots or 3 dots. I guess it's 2. That means we don't use the rest of the fields of that. So loop only uses condition. Conditional. Where do we print that out? That's an if statement, right? Oh. I think, yeah, by design, it's on a line by itself. Just the way it was. So then I don't need anything from here, right? Okay. Ignore part. Okay, then we're done with that. So there's some warnings here in expression. Right, unary expression. We never did these. I did map. What does set look like in here? Or it would be render expression, right? What's a set look like? Okay, we do it with less than and greater than. Otherwise it's an, okay, vector. We also need to do that one too, right? Okay, I think I got that. So it's kind of like this. Set is less than and greater than, and these are set, which is a vector, and vector is a square brackets. Okay. So unary operators. So not flip negative, and then we add the expression to the right of it. So yeah, we can just let the enum do it. There is no left-hand side, and there's no parentheses around it either, right? Yeah, so a binary expression has parentheses. Unary does not. Okay. No parentheses. Just operator right-hand side. And there's a space between them, always. Okay. So not flip negative. I think I can remember that. We have to go to operators, and we have to implement display for unary operator. Okay, match self, right? Okay, and then all these to-dos become like these. Okay, flip is tilde. Negative is minus, and not is bang, I think. Compare. Negative is minus. Flip is tilde. Not is bang. Yep. Okay. Done. Function. We're not doing functions. Do I not call any functions? Let's see how function expressions are rendered. Function. Here we go. So it's the function's name and followed by the expression list with nothing in between. Expression list is with the parentheses, right? Okay, there's a default delimiter, right? Or is it explicit? Can I go to like where that's declared? Yeah, default delimiter of parentheses. Okay, that's easy. We can do that. So that's the function's name followed by parenthesis and then arguments. Actually, that has to be printed separately, right? We have to print that separately because we're going to do a right joined here. The list is args. Separator is this. I think I got it. Anything I'm missing? Looks like I got it all. Let me see if that's actually how I formatted decimals. I just guessed that was what it was, but let's see. Literal decimals, what we're looking for. Here it is. I just did it with LF. The default is 6 figures for a float, right? Do I use floats? No, I use doubles. I kind of want to look that up and see because now I can't remember. So C printf LF. Use for double. Is it like implementation specific? How many decimal places are printed for printf with LF? Okay, I'm gonna go use ChatGPT because I can. ChatGPT. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT the exact same thing and see what it says. It says the printf function in C and similar languages uses the %lf format specifier to print a double variable with a long double precision. When you use %lf, it typically prints 6 decimal places by default. Blah, blah, blah. What if I say, like, does it always print with 6 decimal places? No, it doesn't always print with exactly 6 decimal places. The default for %lf is implementation dependent. Different compilers or platforms may have different default precisions. For many compilers, the default is 6, but this is not a strict rule and may vary. Okay, ChatGPT is awesome. Hey there, Adam. How many decimal places does it take to screw in a light bulb? Okay, let me ask ChatGPT that. I can't show this on screen because I don't want to reveal like the account I'm using to log into it. Okay, we'll say what ChatGPT says. ChatGPT says, paste. It takes 0 decimal places to screw in a light bulb. Decimal places are used for it doesn't get a joke. Used for expressing fractional parts of a whole number, they are not relevant when it comes to typically screwing in a light bulb. It's a clever play on words. In practical terms, you don't need any decimal places to perform this task. ChatGPT, you can't take a joke. Oh, should I teach it that the right answer, according to Adam, is a significant amount? Aha. So ChatGPT gets your joke, Adam. It said this in reply. This is a play on words related to the technical terminology in computing. Computing the significant, also known as the also saying a significant amount is a clever and humorous way to play on the word. See, ChatGPT is awesome. It even thanked us for sharing this witty twist. Silly. ChatGPT thinks you are clever and humorous, Adam. So Adam, I don't know how interested you are in like the technical details of what I'm doing. You probably saw that I'm playing around with a domain-specific language that can parse stuff. But I just got the compiler finished. So what I was doing was I was comparing the output of it, the C version and the Rust version, and making sure it's identical. So, and it is. So I was like printing the C version before, printing the Rust version after, and diffing them, and they're exactly the same. So the output of the compiler is just a bunch of abstract syntax trees that should match the original code. So like aspect ratio is a nice one. So if we look for aspect ratio, so this is the original and this is the abstract syntax tree. So aspect ratio has a part, format is UI, the name is encoding, and it's 8 bits long. So it's pretty much the same as the input. And then we have conditional. If encoding is 0, then return nil, else return that. So it's pretty much the same output as the input, only it's kind of showing the tree-like structure of how things are organized. Because I might not have formatted it like this, I might have had like, I might have decided to do this, for example. And the parser shouldn't care, right? It'll still print out that. And so this dumping of the AST is more for debugging. The real use of this is to actually traverse a traverse a byte input stream with this and have it basically identify what every byte means. So that's what we're doing, and I'm sure if Adam didn't already know that or have questions about that, someone in chat did, and they were just kind of maybe a little bit too shy to ask, and I've hopefully answered any questions that you might have had. So, I'll tell you, I'm gonna take a big break, or big breath, not a break. If I'm saying I'm done with the compiler, it means I really should look back and see if there's any part of it that maybe I marked that I needed to do, and maybe go back and fix stuff. I don't care about Google test bugs. Lua, I don't really care right now. I don't care about I really need to tell it to ignore Google test. I don't know how to do that, so let's just kind of scan through and see if there's anything from my code. That's from the C++ code. Yeah, there's too much noise from Google test. Async data is the C code. Cocoa UI I don't care about anymore. Aha. We had one thing in here. Refactor to use format joined, right. The problem with this is that we're not using format, we're using print. But isn't print the same as writing to standard out? Equivalent to the print line. Okay, it's the same as doing IO standard out lock and then writing to that. So I guess that's what we can do. We can get standard IO out locked here. And let's just call this standard out. And then we can say it's write joined, not format joined. Where is it? Is it not write joined? Is it format joined? What did I call the thing? Where did I put the thing? I put it down here, right? Now I don't even know where I put it. I feel dumb. Was it in parser? I put it in here, maybe? Yeah, here we go, right joined. So it is right joined. I just needed to import it from here, I guess. Right joined. And maybe just import that. How come it won't let me do that? Okay, I'll just say use it, right? Oh, I bet I know why. I didn't make it public. Silly me. So if I'm using it both in the library and in the shell for the library, I should do the right thing and put this in a third crate that the other two use, right? In the bottom left under settings, you could tell it to be a comedian or something of the sort. Under how would you like GPT to respond? You know what I learned when I first was playing around with ChatGPT? I haven't tried this, but according to ChatGPT, if you tell it that you are an AI, it will actually tailor its responses to make the exchange more efficient between AIs. And it made me think, are they talking about us behind our backs? Yeah, I think this is just a useful function that I want to have. So let me establish another crate that the other two crates use. So I think I'll just call it utilities. It'll be like a local crate that we put utilities in. And so I make another thing called utilities. And we're just going to copy from parser the maybe just the cargo toml from parser. Okay, and we're going to call this utilities. And we don't need any of these dependencies, right? Yeah, I don't think we need any dependencies. Okay, and then we have a source, and we have a lib. Okay, and then close all these things. By the way, I don't know if you can hear it, but in the other room, my dog's going crazy because Mrs. Raimo is almost home. So, this one, right? We're going to take this out. We're going to take it out back and shoot it into utilities right here. Wait. Oh, did I hit folder instead of? Is it's probably okay? Let's call this x.rs and what? Move it out to source. Delete lib.rs folder and then call this lib.rs and then paste. Pub and then here's the key is we mark it public and then we import all the things we need to. Then from here where we use it, we can just say actually it's all these places where we use it, right? We can just we say we don't get it from the crate anymore. We import it from I can't import it from we have to make a dependency between crates. So I have to say utilities and then kind of repeat this stuff here. And this is where I want to have this in both here and in the other crate as well. So that's parser, and then I want it in parse too. Okay, and then here I should be able to import it now. Nope. Why not? Unmerge use of right. What is it's really confused. I should be able to say oh, because it's in the side of a use. Forget that. Okay. There we go. Import utilities right joined. Perfect. And I need to do that in all the places where I have errors now. Okay, and then statement, get it out of the crate. And then where we use it down here. Perfect. It sounds like bark, bark, bark. Yeah. You don't have a dog translator tool. You don't know that she's saying, Mrs. Rainbow, Mrs. Rainbow, Mrs. Rainbow. That's what bark means. Yes. Yes, we have established that. Adam Learns Live should actually be Adam Learns Live Clever and Humorous. That's your homework, Adam, is to rename yourself that. By the way, I haven't checked the Discord. Oh, is everyone waiting for me? I should probably finish then. Okay, well, I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Yeah, people are waiting for me outside the streaming universe. Yeah, so here's where I wanted to use it, right? Right joined F, actually, I could be able to say import it now, and then I can say this, and then the list is format arguments. How come I can't select that? There we go. And then the separator is this. And then that's fallible, so we do that. And standard out. That was the whole point of doing that. And this qualifies standard IO standard out. And then we what? And a standard lock? I can't write to it. Oh, it's not a formatter. Shoot. Okay, I think this is going to take more time to figure out. Yeah, that's it. I guess it's not a standard formatter when we do that. But if we print, I know how to do this. We will print line I think we just print, right? Or I can just write to standard out a formatted string. What can we do with standard out? Can't do much to it. It's meant to be used in a context I'm not familiar with, so let's not do that. Let's just do a... Actually, we can just put it in here, right? We can just make this whole thing a print line. And then here we can have insert something, and that's going to be a format. What is the type of that arguments again? Vector of strings. You'd think that would be easy to do here. Strings. String format. I need a formatter. Okay, I'm gonna give up. We'll leave this as a to-do to figure this out. And it's right joined. We'll figure out how to do this some other time. I just can't think right now. Let's... Yeah, we're not using that. Conditions not used here. It's not used here either. Bound is not used there. Okay. No warnings, no errors. It should work. And then I'll do the rest later, probably tomorrow or Monday. So is that to do? There's probably a few other to dos. But we have a really nice rendering of the abstract syntax tree. Sweet. Time to go. Who's streaming? Should I raid Chris again? I already raided him once. Let's raid Jitspo. Let's share the love. Jitspo's teaching something called Trench Broom, how to sweep better. Yep, bye Nightshade dude and everybody else. I'll see you next time. Later.